Hey friends, well, I'm getting ready to hike all the way to the top of Byers Peak. I'm really excited. This peak is almost 13,000 feet, but I hear the beautiful rushing water behind me. You also see patches of snow. So I'm just starting off on this trail in the Arapaho National Forest, but there's already patches of snow all over the top of the peak too. I'm really excited about breathing in this fresh mountain air. I can smell the scent, that fragrant aroma of the lodgepole pine and Douglas fir. So here we go. So I've been hiking for about 45 minutes up the mountainside on a pretty wide trail. And now, as you can see, there's a little bit of snow here. And the trail's narrowing, getting thick into the forest. I'm expecting a lot of snow from the reports. So it's all to myself with God who created this beautiful landscape. Well, there it is, friends. There's the peak right there, Byers Peak. That's where we're going. I'm hoping to get there in about an hour. It's gonna be awesome. I wanna slide down one of those snowfields. Well, the trail, as I approach the tree line, is getting pretty tough here. There's a lot of steep incline, lots of patches of snow. It's a hike. Hoorah! Hey friends, well, I'm now above the tree line here. Byers Peak is in view. Here's the panoramic. Look at this. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee, how great thou art. How great our God is. Look at that. So on the hike up here, once I got above the tree line, there was a split in the trail. The main trail, went straight across the snowfield, and it was pretty steep. And then it seemed like there were some other footprints that went off to the south, down a little bit, around the side of the snowfield. And so I decided, well, it might be easier to go that route rather than walk across this steep hill of snow. So I went around, and then I discovered why the trail went across the snowfield, because once you got around the other side, you had to hike up an even steeper slope, much steeper, through the snow and then through mud to finally get back on the trail. Following God is like that sometimes. You go, here's the path. I know that God's directing me, and He's good, and He loves me, and He's kind, and He is truth. But maybe this other route over here is better. And we take a lot longer going up, progressing in our walk, growing in the likeness of Jesus Christ, because we divert off the path. Also, hiking up this mountain, there's all these switchbacks. And sometimes it seemed like maybe a more direct route would have been faster. But the deal is, you'd burn out if you just went straight up the mountain. We've got Charlie horses, maybe winded big time. Who knows, maybe a heart attack, out of water, and you never make it to the top. God has us on a winding journey on the trail, not diverting off the trail, but a winding journey all along through the path of life. And we may sense, oh, He's leading me this way, but there's gonna be twists and turns, ups and downs, switchbacks, up and around on this hike, following Jesus on His purpose. God has never lost track of where we are in the process. He's never lost sight of the purpose that He has for us. But sometimes we think He does. And so we get frustrated and stressed out why we're not just taking the most direct route. But God has a purpose for the wilderness, for the switchbacks up and down through the mountains of life. But He's leading us. In those switchbacks of life, we may wonder, God, did we just waste 5 years here? Did we just waste a year doing that, or 3 years here, or 10 years here? It seemed like we're just traversing back and forth on the side of the mountain and not getting anywhere. But don't lose sight. God has a reason for those switchbacks. It's not the direct route. That's the best route. It's the route that He has to conform us and shape us into the likeness of Jesus, to deepen us in our understanding of His love, to guide us in His truth, and and to guide and walk with others along that switchbacking trail up and down and around till our race is finally finished. Remember this, nothing is wasted in the wilderness. Nothing is wasted in the wilderness. God has a purpose through every mark on the trail. He's got you and he's guiding you. Well, that's the trail right there, folks. God never said it would be easy, but God did say he would be with us. Maybe the trail you're on looks like that. Jagged rocks, pain, difficulty. Maybe it feels like torture. God has not abandoned you. God is with you every single step. No one and nothing is lost on God in the trail. No one and nothing is lost on God in the wilderness. He knows your way through because he has carved the trail. Walk with him. Trust him. He knows, and he knows you, and he loves you. Lessons from the trail. Lessons from the mountain. Almost at the top. Woo! Here we are! At the summit of Byers Peak, just outside of Fraser, Colorado. Woo! Absolutely amazing. How great is our God? Well, thanks for joining me on this journey here. My hike and summit up to Byers Peak. Remember this, God has not forgotten you. He has not lost track of you. There is nothing lost and no one lost on him. Through the trail of life and following Jesus, through the switchbacks up and down the mountains, nothing is wasted in the wilderness. God has not forgotten you. God is leading you. God is forming you. God is molding and shaping you into the likeness of Jesus. He's deepening your character. He's deepening your understanding of his love and guiding you by his truth. So stay on the path, walk with him, love you friends, enjoy God's creation, and enjoy the journey.